goal start for the Three Lions kicked off their Euro 2020 campaign at Wembley with a 1-0 win against Croatia. Raheem Sterling repaid Gareth Southgate's faith in him, didn't he? Sliding in the winner following a perfect pass from that man of the match, Calvin Phillips. Brilliant day for him too. I am delighted to say for the next 2 hours is an England legend just amongst us, literally in the studio, within touching distance. Played for his country 78 times, I won't touch you. And at 3 major tournaments, it's talkSPORT's very own Stuart Pearce. Morning, Stuart.
Morning, Pearce.
Good morning. I am on top of the grass at the moment, as they say in County Clare. We had a victory yesterday.
It's not great, by the way, I've got to say to you.
We had a victory yesterday, which has buoyed me up. Obviously, our first game live in the stadium, which was brilliant for us to cover. And I've primed the 2 Czech boys against the Scots today. Don't worry about it. Vladimir the Impaler on his peg for the last 4 months. He's had a picture of the Scottish squad. You know what I mean? And he's coming for him. Don't worry about that.
I've got to say, in all seriousness, your 2 boys have been fantastic this season, haven't they? The 2 Czech lads. They've been brilliant.
They're a dream to work with, mate. Honestly, low maintenance, high energy, high work rate, smash. Just nice human beings, really nice human beings.
They're funny to have around as well, aren't they? Quite characters.
Yeah, they're good. They're quite different in many ways, but really good. And listen, I can't wait for the game this afternoon. I'm really excited for the game this afternoon.
Who are you going to support then?
Well, I was quoted last week on Jim's show as saying I support all the home countries as such, you know what I mean? Which is fair. Until I rung a friend of mine, Steve Wigley, yesterday, who absolutely berated me for backing Scotland and anyone else. He did.
But it's funny, because we were talking about it early on. Pierce, I've got to say to you, I'm wanting England to win yesterday. I don't care, and I'll probably stick for up the road. But I just, because the hypocrisy of me asking Declan Rice for an interview and sitting down with Declan Rice, who's a lovely lad, Mason Mount's dad comes on the show. How could you not love Harry Kane? He's a great lad. But it may be a bit, it was totally different when you play us. I mean, forget about that, as you would expect. Absolutely. But I mean, I'm wanting the Welsh to equalise when they go 1-0 down against Switzerland.
Yeah, same here.
Ali's scared of Mason Mount's dad, basically.
But I tell you what, Pierce, saying all things joking aside, you look at Gareth yesterday. Of course, everybody's asking what Trippier at left back. He's playing Phillips. Sterling's in. The only thing I said after the game, the only thing that could be maybe slightly disappointment, they didn't score more goals. Because all in all, just about a perfect performance.
Yeah, it was a good performance without being sensational. I think people have probably pushed the performance up a little bit higher than it actually is. So it's a really solid 7 out of 10 performance. Considering it was the opening game of the tournament, considering our record in first games, and you know what it's like yourself playing in these opening games, there's a nervousness about it that isn't like qualification. So all things considered, really good. I've got to say, from Gareth's point of view, there was a big clamour for this player and that player and whatever. And listen, at the end of it, you'll get judged by the result, potentially, looking back on your team selection. But I think he got his team selection. The only change I would have had, probably when I was asked about mine, would have been at left back. I would have played probably Shaw, but there's not much to choose between Shaw and Chilwell for me. I can see one of those 2 playing against Scotland. I really can. I think he might change 1 or 2, but brave management.
Yeah, without doubt.
What did impress you when you were watching it about that team?
The good thing is we can score goals. I know that. England can score goals. When the ball's in the opposition's half, I always feel very confident in what we're doing. When the ball's in our half, I always have that little bit of heart in mouth, because we can be a little bit loose at times, at the back. I thought defensively we looked pretty sound. The important thing for me, what really impressed me, Laura, the clean sheet impressed me. And if you're going to win a tournament, you've got to keep clean sheets. The lack of efforts on our goal, so we stopped them having too many efforts on our goal, certainly clear-cut ones. That was really impressive. And 2 individuals in Phillips and Sterling, I thought if Raheem drops his standards slightly, there's a mindset in this country for people in and around what Sterling playing for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Gareth backed him yesterday, like all good managers do. Raheem's been brilliant for 5 years for England. You know what I mean? So you don't just discard him to one side and put Johnny come lately in the team. Sometimes certain players, and when you're involved in management, certain players earn loyalty, you know, and I think he's earned Gareth's loyalty, and I'm pleased to see him score the goal and play particularly well.
You talk about scoring the goal, it was a great finish, but equally I thought the creativity shown by Phillips was outstanding. I just slightly had him a man of the match yesterday, Pearce, ahead of Raheem. I mean, he was everywhere effectively, wasn't he?
His energy is incredible. When he first... I watched him and Ricey play, because obviously I've got real duty of care to look at Declan and how he plays, that type of thing. I watched the pair of them play together in March, in one of the games in March, or two of the games, can't remember which. And I thought, will it work, both of them? Because they're sort of perceived as playing at the similar position. And I thought, will it work? And in March, it worked brilliantly. And I thought this could be really good going forward in the tournament, especially when you've got really tight games. You know, if you come out in the knockout stages and the games are really tight, to have two players like them, just shielding the centre halves, if you like. And they played brilliantly together in March. So I thought, this will be interesting to see whether he adopts this going forward. But the way he played it yesterday, it was almost Declan sat at the bottom of it and enabled Phillips to go and get in people's face, Mount to do the same as well. And they almost played it as that sort of, you know, point down with Dec, rather than the two of them with Mount in front. And I think his energy is enthusiastic. He gets at people. And his stats for not giving the ball away yesterday was quite incredible.
Pearce, I thought it was amazing, because I was with you. I thought it would be more of a shielding two rather than Ricey and the two in front, and I thought it worked a dream. It really worked a dream.
Maybe help the centre backs out as well, having Declan there to protect him a little bit more.
We need it, I think. You know what I mean? No disrespect to our centre halves, but if I had to pick maybe a weak point of the team, the worry going forward, it would. I think we concede too many efforts at our goal. Whilst our defensive record's been brilliant, we've kept a lot of clean sheets, and credit to the team for that. If we can defend well, and the midfield shield might be helpful within that, we've got to defend well as a team, not just a back four.
I'm with you about Calvin Phillips, the way he keeps hold of the ball, but also the way he wins it back as well. He's a bit gritty, isn't he? And I quite like it.